So the nice thing about the deserts is they're generally just open nothing. Until they're not. Like that. That is basically a dragon. Dawn glider. Feathered serpent glides upon the great leathery wings. The air about her colorful plumage shimmers with heat. And she leaves her wake a blazing trail. Let's see if I can laser her. Let's see. All right. If I can kill her before she gets to me, it's a lot of XP. If she gets to me, not bad. How much XP was that? 375. Better than finishing a quest. Good night, Dilkan. This is what I mean about this music. The horns go so fucking hard. It's so good. So good. All right, let's move to the church. Let's go north. Drugs were involved? Oh, 1,000%. Oh god, these guys have guns. It's okay, I've got eye lasers. Zoop. 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 Oh, by the way, you know those tribes that tribe that I gained like good rep with? It's these guys. Oh no, my capacity's too weak. It's okay, I can walk away. Oh no, he's chasing me. Ah! Ooh! A blingy dagger. The best kind of daggers. Not all, but a lot, yes. I actually see Katie emotes around not too infrequently. It's just a gemmy dagger. Painted would be more queer. Godly. There's two guys behind my camera. It's okay, I'll just walk past them. You spot a Dromad caravan. We've discovered the locations of one of the merchants. There was one time I jumped into a location with a bunch of merchants like this as a giant sandworm, because yes, there are giant sandworms in this game, was killing them. And then the sandworm left, and then I just took their stuff, and it was great. Okay. Let's trade. What do you has? Ooh, they have strange tubes. Chat, remember how I talked about this earlier? They have expensive strange tubes. They have expensive strange tubes. That's not a chair. It might look like a chair. That's not a chair. I'm gonna sell them these random things I just got. Ooh, they have a floating glow sphere. It's a sphere that floats next to you and glows. So they have a banner here. Which gives me 200 reputation with those tribesmen. Which might actually be enough to make them stop fighting with me. They also have elastine skin suits, which would be real good for us, but I can't afford them. And polarized spectacles. Most strange tubes are in fact chairs. I once picked up a strange tube and it was like, it's a missile launcher. And I was like, all right, so what do I want? What do I want? I'll buy 155 lead slugs. Thank you very much, because they're very cheap. Curious about those small stones, but I don't have the money for them, so. Ooh, Okay, two things. One, there's a dragon over there, which I would like to kill. Sweet. But I really want to take a peek at this statue. Oh! Interesting. Shrine to Polexus the First, husband of Gagno Mog Nigni. Maybe it's like Nini? Is the G silent? Gagna Mojnina? Huh. Probably. Yeah, I was gonna say, Orange, you're not doing your conversions or looking at the symbol they put in the front, but yeah. But welcome to the modern world, Fanyogs. I choose to just not buy games that are too expensive. All right, well, let's take a look. The shrine depicts a significant event from the life of the ancient Sultan Polyeux the First. While traveling near Shekish Habawar, Polyeux was captured by bandits. He languished in captivity for 2 years, eventually escaping to Yuan. Well, just remember, most indie games right now have the same budget and team size as AAA games did in like 2008, right? Like a game, like an indie studio with a independent publisher that has 20 employees, like 23 people made Grand Theft Auto 3, right? So when you think about it in that context, it kind of makes some sense. Kind of does. Actually, chat, to everybody, I think I asked this earlier, but to everybody who's watching right now, what do you think of CUD so far? Because I've been getting the CUD itch for a while, which is a terrible infection, which usually results in me streaming a bunch of it. Just got the email. Ooh. Good news, Orange? It's very blue and green. Yes. And probably queerer than you. In a non-dwarfy way? I mean, you can get a pickaxe. And I think it's got a Dwarf Fortress reference on it. And yes, you can dig through walls. What's up, Fusty? Yeah, you can be a mutant or a cyborg. We're a mutant currently. It's more unhinged? Oh, way more. We discovered the location of Habawar. Where is Habawar? Oh. Yeah, no, we're not going there anytime soon. Maybe if somehow I get to late game. Or if I get randomly moved to another place. The Eaters made offerings to strange gods in the extinct quarter of whose ruins lie plated to the labyrinth of coral. Yeah, good luck with that one. Orange has been trying to move across Canada for ages, and it's surprisingly difficult when you're also trying to move your job across Canada. Oh. Looks like I found the church. Hold on. Going south. There's two guys that want to murder me. Down there. That's okay. I want to go in the front door for proper effect.
German is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when no one expects him anymore.
Welcome to my favorite zone in the game, Fanyogs. Before I do anything, it's time to hit the hookah. Then we're gonna go speak to this character over here. Tespor, the disciple of the coiled lamb. Peace and health and light of the star pilgrim. Brood with me on the life of Rusef if you are willing. We found a secret from Rusef in that very, very first area. In the year 3, Rusef cleansed the marshlands of the plagues of Gyre and taught Abram to sow watervine along its fertile tracks. And I get 250 XP. So I can ask this person who is Rusef. Although, actually, hold on. This music is starting to give me an anxiety attack. As much as I love it, I can only listen to it so much. Let's just go change the music to something else. Whew. Now we get the church music. All right, so now that we've done that, let's go speak with this person. A spiritual patron of kith and kin who did so much for us and who leads me and others like me to the path of healing for all. Above all, he was a healer, he dressed the wounds of the sick and rid the land of plagues of Gyre. Or Gear? I actually don't know. Or maybe it's Guy. I always pronounce it like gyro, so it's like Gyre. Anyway. Or maybe Gyre. Anyway, he was also a sultan. But he was the last sultan. He unbricked the walls of the monarchy so that we could pick berries in the orchids they hid. Like rich. Oh, yeah, true. It could be like Greer. Yeah, I don't know. There's no wrong pronunciation in this game for these words. You own a few rentals in Quebec? I don't live in Quebec. My little sister lives in Quebec. And that's all, yeah, that's also where Orange is trying to get away from. You wish this game had a demo? If you're watching this stream right now, you already know if this is a game for you or not. This is very much a wiki game. I don't think a demo would really do it justice. Because it's a game that you have to put more than 2 hours into to get anything out of. The same reason Dwarf Fortress really shouldn't have a demo outside of the free version. Because, like, if you play it for just 2 hours, you're not going to get to the point where it becomes interesting. You've been trying to sell them for years? Well, good luck. I have no desire to live in Quebec. Mostly because I would be bankrupt by my own health problems. Because unless I'm born in Quebec, certain things to do with being a diabetic are not free. And I wasn't born in Quebec? No. You went to a Greek restaurant one time and they pronounced it gyro? Should go to a real Greek restaurant. I think that Gyro is Guy Fieri's, like, evil twin. I have more to ask. Do I actually? Actually, who likes and hates this guy? Sometimes I do water ritual with him. Hated by the villagers of Nagaruk for releasing snakes into one of their camps. What a douche. Hated by the villagers of Migaruk for worshipping a highly entropic being, and disliked by the villagers of Dutara for slaying one of their leaders. Yeah, no. Not gonna do that with you. Then I can go over here and I can read this. The shrine depicts a significant event from the life of the ancient Sultan Rusef. In the year 1, Gyre widened the final plague that afflicted the land. The Gish-rept Nephilism rose from their cradles on the moon star and slouched towards Cud to eat its young. Rusef rose to meet them in battle and cast them back. He is a dick. Most of the religious characters in this game, if you actually like look at who likes them and dislikes them, are kind of assholes, which is kind of funny. What's inside the tent? I already looked. A quiet shrine to the coiled lamb, centuries old, tucked away outside the marble parapets and the cloaked in dust of time. It's lost to those who sneer at the veneration of Risef over other fathers. Step inside and voice a prayer, if you are willing. And then the last thing I'm going to ask them is, here, have this secret that I just learned from reading it on the statue back there. And get another 500 XP for free. Kodiak, thank you very much for the 15th month. Welcome back. Good to have you. Cheers, man. Why are these motherfucking snakes in my motherfucking camp? So then there's this area, which I'm just going to auto-explore. Unburden yourself from the weight of your implants, I think or artifacts. It's always one of the two. That guy shouts. Yep. I think I stopped moving because I became hungry. Yeah, I mean, it's a game that I stream on and off, right? It's not a game that I stream frequently, but I tend to kind of binge play it whenever there's major updates. But I've had the itch for a while, since like mid-December, but I was still real deep in Dwarfort, and we're still real deep in Dwarfort. Like, we're going to do Dwarfort tomorrow and the day after, but I might start doing this in the evenings for a bit. It depends on how long this run goes, actually. I mean, I made it to level 7. I'm not strong yet, but I'm also not weak anymore. What, like the abilities I have? I don't think they've added or changed an ability once. Have I? In the past? Yes. Have I recently? No. Did I just like... Oh, I'm so sorry, Water Noodle. I just pushed you out of your water. Hold on, let me push you back in your water. There you go. Everything in this zone is friendly, but most of these critters are not normally friendly. So this is also a very important character in the game. This is Sheba Haggadas, the hide-sheathed hermit librarian of Silt. This is always a random character with a random name, but if you have books in your inventory, random or otherwise, and you give it to this character, they give you XP in return. So you can, like, if you find a random zone that has, like, I don't know, 50 books in it, you could just, like, gain 4 levels immediately by just talking to this person. And then you can come back and read them later. You just can't sell them. Aren't terribly common. I mean, all of my gameplay of CUD that I've done, with the exception of maybe like 2 hours to figure something out once using debug controls, are streamed. So that, you know, yes, I've streamed CUD. I've also streamed significantly more obtuse roguelikes, like this shit. And he updated it for the first time in like a year and a half, which makes me happy. Although he started doing regular updates after that, which is kind of interesting. I need to play this again. This is super cool, by the way. If you ever wanted like Dark Souls in the format of a roguelike, that's literally what this game is. It has multi-tile enemies and like dodgeable AoE attacks and shit. It's a very neat little game. It's also, like, weirdly easy to get into, too. It's very straightforward. It's like you have stamina bar, like, dodge, basically. All right, anyway, let's read this. What use is a library in this salt pit den, or in the marshes? Strangled by wild plants and poisoned by the glow. Wouldn't a stash of vine reapers serve us better? You share the possession of my kin and several of the priests as well. My heart hears you, but listen to my words. And you maybe will come to feel as I do. To devalue wisdom is to devalue the phosphorescence. She shines in the void, refracting light, illuminating those around her. So does the written wisdom of our elders. The machinery of chromium is complex in its divinity. Don't we do a disservice to our fathers when we remain ignorant of it, of our past and of our future. Don't we deserve the joy of knowing? Bless Exalt II, first child, for he believes I do. I would love to donate books, but I literally have none currently. Where is the library? Oh, we're in it. The first phase of its foundation. The church has assumed a splendid collection of scripts through the years. Gloria Sheketh, praise be upon him, gifted us with several caches. The Emirates work and the night of... the Emirates work day and night reproducing them in the scriptorum, and I have taken it upon myself to beseech travelers for the rarest finds often come from the least likely places. Live and drink, chronicler. And another thing that I can do, I think. Yeah. So these are kind of massive foreshadowing, these walls. About very endgame things that I won't spoil. But yeah, generally to anybody who's here, especially if you're in this channel for the first time, I stream Dwarf Fortress. I stream random indie games that I think seem interesting. And I play games that interest me, which usually means Dwarf Fortress and traditional roguelikes. Like, I've streamed Tome. I've streamed Brogue. I've streamed this. I've streamed Cogmind. I've streamed, like, 450 hours of Jupiter Hell. I've streamed Sill. I've streamed... Why am I blanking on the name of that game? I've streamed Zorbus. Zorbus was okay. Zorbus is okay. Never played the Castle of the Winds. Brogue. That's my knee-jerk response whenever people ask me to recommend traditional roguelikes. Brogue. Play Brogue. I even have a command for it. And it's free. If I can type in Brogue. Play Brogue. Play Brogue. Play Brogue. But let's read this. This is an exquisitely detailed high-relief cut from the precious Carillion marble. It depicts the sacred joining, as recounted by Shekinah, the father of the temple high priestess. In the early dawn of our universe, the Argent Fathers roamed the timeless ether with inert hearts and burps, apparently. In the coldest distance of space, they discovered the beauty and chrome incarnate. The Casphorescens together, they wrought the machines from her naked womb to inhibit 100 Earths in the same scene here. Fathers first approach her radiance, and they are led by Shekinah, who occupies the position of prominence. Also, I'm one of those assholes who doesn't like Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I will be honest with you. And the reason I don't like it is twofold. Reason number one, its community is focused entirely on competitive play, which I despise. Reason number two, they keep removing the fun shit. I like the fun shit. Leave the tedious fun shit in the video game. Stop removing the tedious fun shit. I like the tedious fun shit. So DCSS makes me sad whenever I play, because I'm like, this game used to be better. Bah. But I don't hate it. If I were to play Stone Soup, I'd just go play a version from like 2015, 14. What is competitive play? Leaderboard, score chasing. A bit of a raid and run because you need to eat. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Chat, mods, can I get a shout out for Pythania, please? And what were you up to before you run off? But I do know that you need to go eat. Or do whatever you need to do. But thank you very much for the raid. Cheers. It used to be better. Yeah, I mean, I don't like roguelikes that are focused on competitive score chasing. That's not fun for me. That's not why I play roguelikes. No, I completely disagree that it's a good recommendation for an intro to roguelikes. The only, to me, personal good recommendation for somebody that's new to roguelikes is Brogue. because it removes literally everything. There's no tedium whatsoever. The only leveling up mechanic is your gear. Brogue is the best roguelike to recommend for a new player. It's beautiful to look at, easy to get into, has full mouse support, is free. The community isn't a bunch of people who just want to score chase. And there's nothing overwhelming about it because it's just you play an @ symbol. It's the minimalist roguelike. Binding of Isaac, I can't stand the theme of it, and I'm somebody who likes roguelikes, not somebody who likes run-based bullet hells. All right, let's read this other side. This is a high relief cut. All right, yeah, it's just the same. Okay, so let's go look at some statues. Don't attack that. Resef, called the Above, is an enigmatic figure to heal the wounds of the sick. I stated like a minute ago I've streamed Cogmind. So. I raid the developers sometimes. He's a good dude. Josh is cool. A statue of Carthax. Carthax is a member of Asterix and Obelix and is an athlete depicted here in a wide stride. His glistening silver hair is tied behind his head in astral tradition. He vaults through the firmament. It's like we're in a Greek temple. Here is Shekinah, has been depicted and sculpted into permanence with magnificent Carillion marble. His body is chiseled to blessed perfection. His golden diadem crowns him father among fathers. You usually recommend Adom to your friends as a first roguelike? I wouldn't recommend it as a first. Like, at all. Jupiter Hell's fantastic. NetHack's also very good. I just don't stream NetHack. Generally, if people want to see NetHack, I just recommend, like, the NetHack speedrunning community. Yeah, I mean, Chocobo Dungeon is, like, in the mystery dungeon, like, subgenre of dungeon crawlers. Pretty cool games. I've never really had one that's grabbed me, though. I've tried a couple times. It's like a decorated tiara? Interesting. I feel like chat's explained that one to me before. Can I not, like... Glorious Shekinah, Argent Adornis, first father possesses an illuminous memory. With a statue of ageless stars fixed and permanent, he approaches the temple erected in his honor and cocks his head in approval, benefiting the memory of his union with the Casphorescence. He clothes his manifestation in Carillion shades, forsaking the viridians and assets of lowly plants and clay earth. This is almost a game like Dwarf Fortress, I sometimes joke, is a game that you need a thesaurus to play properly. This game, you absolutely need a thesaurus to play properly. Dagon Orator domineers the West Appease with his brazen pose. His golden chromate shines splendidly in the fire's shine. I've never played a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. True story. I've played something in the Shadow something on Game Boy like a billion years ago, and I remember enjoying it to a degree, but I never finished it. Is Caves of Cud still in development? Yeah, they patched it like a couple. Are they still doing the weekly patches? Yeah, no, they do an update every Friday. And major updates like every 6 months or so. Yeah, no, and there's like, dailies and whatnot. I mean, it's still in early access, right? So, and then even after early access, I think they're planning to just continue developing it. I mean, they're not big patches, but yes, they do add some stuff every Friday. But sometimes it's just like, yo, we added some lines of text to this quest line, and like, here's a few sprites. And sometimes it's like, yo, we rebalanced the skill. Statue of Bel, Belinair. A statue of Bel wears its tremendous weight in polished marble. It wields its epochal aegis. That's another word that chat's gonna get mad at me over. Sorted for obstructing a swirling glass cloud in a starry dawn. And a statue of Nairoch, I guess. The star mason depicted here straddling the earth with his mighty legs. Please don't teabag the earth. He dons his favorite sash, whose folds are exquisitely worked in gold.